One of my biggest issues with the Nintendo Switch is how big the dock is. Although it's great for at home and gives protection to the screen and stuff, anytime I want to travel with my Switch and be able to dock it, it just takes up way too much space in my bag, and that's just not it. See, besides making videos on YouTube, I'm also a professional musician, and that requires me to travel a lot. I always bring my Switch with me, but I never have enough space in my bag to bring the dock as well. That means anytime I want to play games with a band, we have to use tabletop mode, which for a multiplayer game is just never fun. The screen is way too small. So I had to find a solution that didn't involve buying a third-party dock. Although the technology in them has gotten a lot better, I just don't want to risk bricking my Switch. I think if I were to pick a third-party option, it would probably be the Genki Covert dock. I've heard really good things about it, and it's so small it can just kind of fit in your pocket. Let me know if you think I should pick one of those up and try it out, but today we're going to be taking an original Nintendo Switch dock that I bought secondhand on Facebook Marketplace and putting it into this. I can't believe how small this thing is. This tiny, small form factor Nintendo Switch dock is called the AiryDocky by Rate. It comes in a few different colors, but I got it in white to match the Joy-Cons that I just modded. If you haven't seen that video yet, you can check it out up here or in the description down below after you're done watching this one. But let's get into how I went about switching the original dock into this. So this whole process took under an hour to complete. Inside the box is the shell for the new dock, some tools, extra screws and springs, little rubber feet for the base, and some ribbon cables, which I think will be needed to make this work. First things first, we need to get the pieces we need from the old dock. There are 8 screws that need to be taken out with the Y screwdriver on the back. Remember to put these in a safe place. You should now be able to take the back completely off. It's funny how much of this is just plastic, because pretty much everything we need is in the bottom right corner. At this stage, the PCB can be lifted up, but we need to remove this ribbon cable. It might be a little tricky, so I'm going to use this spudger to help. Ah yes, my favorite part, detaching the wires. I literally have no idea why this type of connection hates me, but I always struggle to get it out. Like, who makes this so damn tight? Oh, okay. Thank you, that's over with. Next, we need to unscrew this inside part. And now the front plate will just pop off, and we have this useless piece of plastic. Cool. We gotta get the cables and the USB-C docking thing from this part now. Okay, this middle part should just pop out, and then we need to unscrew 4 screws from the bottom, which detach all the things. The last thing we need is this little LED indicator that is in the front plate. And those are all the old dock pieces that we need. Nice. It's now time to assemble the new dock. Oh wait, first we need to detach the USB-C with a couple screws. And we need to get this spring out and that other plastic piece. Okay, now it's actually done. First, we need the special ribbon cable that folds the right way that Extreme Rate includes in their kit, and we need to connect that to the PCB. Pretty easy. Next, we line up the PCB with the bottom of the dock, making sure our back ports are visible. And then screw it down. Don't worry about the USB ports on the other side yet, there's a solution for that. You're not going to lose your precious USB ports. Grab the small ribbon cable and the USB connectors Extreme Rate included. This is how we're going to move them. Connect the ribbon cable and then plug this into the USB connectors. We'll get to the rest in a little bit. Now we need to reassemble the USB-C springy thing. This is going to require some patience. If you can't get it right away, just take a deep breath and keep trying or something. Now reattach the USB-C and screw it back in. Now we connect the big ribbon cable to the tiny USB-C and make sure the ribbon cable is folded in a very specific way like this before screwing this part down. The creases should already be in the cable, so just follow them. Now we're going to grab the other USB guys and screw them into the top housing of the dock. Next, we're going to plug the LED indicator back in and slot it into its spot in the front of the bottom housing. It only goes in one way or else you can't put the top on, so you might have to do a bit of jiggling to get it to stay in place. There's a little acrylic cover included that has a sticker to help direct the light in a certain way. This goes in the top housing. And just before we plug the USB ribbon cable in, I'm going to put the dust cover on the USB-C port. Now we can plug this ribbon cable in and then snap the top housing on. Because of the LED and the ribbon cables, it took me a couple tries to get it snapped in properly. Now to put the spring mechanism together. This is so when you sit your Switch on the dock, its weight will push it down and connect it. Make sure this little piece lines up with the springs and then attempt to snap it into place so it locks in. It'll probably take some time, at least it did for me. I actually ended up taking the top cover off again and putting it in before putting the top cover on, and used my tweezers to keep the springs in place. Whenever doing something like this, patience is literally the #1 tool you'll need to have. We can finally add the back cover for the main ports. It snaps in pretty easily. All that's left is to attach the little protector stickies to the dock. I think this is supposed to help protect your switch from scratching or stabilize it or something. And then the rubber feet on the bottom of the dock so it doesn't slide around all over the place. And that's it. Now you have this teeny tiny little dock that you can put anywhere. It's so small. When I'm not traveling, I actually keep this in my streaming setup, and I have my dock that came with my Legend of Zelda OLED Switch downstairs in the living room so that it's nice and on display. Then wherever I am, I actually have a place where I can dock my Switch. If you want to do more mods to your Nintendo Switch, I made a video on how to replace the shell and the joysticks of your Joy-Cons. You can watch this video right over here. Don't forget to like and subscribe, and I'll see you in the next one.